Afternoon from Kirksville, Missouri. This is Randy Curvin, and this is Rantin' Randy's Rant. Uh, as I come on, we've got a couple. Well, I see one out there and one like. So we'll just fool around for a minute, and I can update you on a few things that have been happening. When I got up today, there was notice that in Wisconsin, the votes that stood in line to vote have been tested positive for coronavirus. I just heard an update on that. It is now 19 people. Earlier, I thought I heard them say that, um, no, last night, I heard them say that there were seven, and it seemed like it was six that were uh, poll workers. Remember, they said that it would be perfectly safe, and the guy had on a mask, he had on a gown, he had on gloves, and it's perfectly safe to vote. Well, it turns out it wasn't quite true. And I think that's what the Republicans were counting on, that it will discourage people if they feel like they are really putting their life on the line. But they did so, and they made sure that the Republican candidate for judge didn't make it. He did not win that election, was soundly defeated by the Democrat. Uh, and I also found out through breaking, let's break him first. I also found out through breaking news at a time, I think it was early March, it might even been February, that there were 23 cases in the Northeast. They're now saying that it was actually 28,000 cases in the United States. And we all know where Donnie was on it. There was only 15 cases, of which looks like they're all going to make it. Playing his little hand organ again, or squeeze box. Shit. Let's get to. I'm going to kind of go backwards on this because I got some interesting facts from the last word last night, and I wanted to get right into those. The last word, Fox Spews poll among Pennsylvania voters, Biden at 49%, Trump at 41%. And we are almost, if we're not by now, 47,000 deaths. I've gotten to where we're close to 1 million in cases in this country. We have the highest number of cases in the country or in the world right now. And also, the Republicans are going to open up. Kemp was urged by Trump yesterday not to open up because they hadn't met the guidelines. He fired back. They're going to go ahead and open up some businesses like nail salons, hair cutting, tattoo parlors, and bowling alleys. Real safe, Brian. You're a real bright penny out of the pack. And my thoughts on it, real quick here. Trump-led GOP and his administration are a bunch of hypocrites. He says liberate states after urging Georgia to reopen on Tuesday for the Friday date. Then he turns around yesterday and is against them reopening for now because they haven't met the guidelines. Hadn't said a word to Florida. And I know why that is. Georgia is a necessary state for him to win in the election, and it would look stupid getting everybody sick because their numbers hadn't come down. They're still going up in a curve. They have not leveled out. They hadn't flattened. They are not on the way down. And we know what an idiot Kemp is anyway. Uh, all right, all right. I pointed that out that that's necessary for him to win in November. Uh, and tomorrow I'm going to be calling around to see if any of the optical centers here around Kirksville are open. I think the only difference is Hearing Care Partners is open for one reason. They're using distancing, but it's a whole different thing with eyes because that's another mucus membrane. So I can see if they're still, I'm going to find out if they're still closed. That's why, because it's too dangerous for them to do that. Just like I'm not getting a haircut because they're closed down, number one. Number two, how are you going to cut hair from 6 feet away? And regardless of what Dr. Birch says, they're not that creative. Uh, and all this is happening as lines for Feeding America increase. Farmers continue to plow under crops because they have nobody to pick them up for Feeding America. Uh, or oil tankers are sitting out there full. They have no customers for it. The only good part of this and all these deaths is gas prices are coming down every day. I got $20 worth of gas the other day at 146, and I think the latest price is now 143. So they're still dropping. And what a great job Trump is doing. He tries to brag on that, but he also wants to bail them out. What about the billions and the we fund them every year, and they made billions last year. Why are we bailing them out? They should be taking care of their own employees and not taking money from the U.S. government to do so. And they're not, as far as I know, they're not funding their employees. Let me go back and look. I want to find some more polling that is showing that Trump is dropping in his popularity. For one thing, he's an idiot, and everybody's starting to figure that out. And maybe I'll get to this story about Pete. Vegas pointed out, and I believe he gave the money back. He put in for the loan, but he didn't accept it. They were in no trouble, and that's why he was pointing out. Let me look at page 4. We'll work our way forward. He said under the present rules of the Paycheck Protection Program, from what I've observed, completely flawed and will function as a handout to companies that don't need it. Billions of dollars will never be paid back because they're saying if you keep an employee for a certain number of weeks, the government said you don't have to pay it back. They're just going to hand them all this money. That's what they've been doing. No wonder they run out of money. It makes you wonder if people out here that haven't gotten their money yet, maybe they've already spent it. Besides him he has to put his signature in the memo line. Hello, Gracie.
Hi, Gracie.
Oh, I feel like George Burns. Uh, this program creates and even encourages conduct that would normally be considered fraud. And that's his words. You know, where was it? Oh, yeah. Just this. Okay, yeah, this page I wanted to be at after Pete Vegas. His company is Stage V Foods. Wording in the loan says that due to economic conditions of a certain percentage of the employees, you don't have to pay back the loan. That's what he was pointing out. And according to what Lawrence said at the first of it, he's giving the money back, even though he could use it now since they've been, I think he voluntarily shut down. Latest out of an AP NORC poll at the University of Chicago favor requiring Americans to stay at home, adults 80%, Democrats 91%, and Republicans it's 70%. Let's go to the next one. How likely your area will be safe enough to lift restrictions in a few weeks? Unlikely 56%, somewhat likely 27%, very extremely likely 16%. State of Florida, loosen social distancing by the end of April among Florida voters. 72% said no to yes, 22%. And I think that's it for those polls. It's page 5. Hang with me, people. I'm looking. Well, this is going to be haphazard today. I'm getting through it, though. Fox News and Trump pushing hydroxychloroquine, which is proven ineffective and is dangerous to take with heart issues. They got it right from the Fox News crowd. That was Laura I'm So White Ingram from The Angle. Okay, I got through all of that. Let's look at some of my earlier pages. Because you know Rachel is always on it. And this bit from Tyson Foods in Iowa. They temporarily closed the plant, and the mayor of Iowa is afraid that it comes too late. They wait till they have a big outbreak. They had families out there demonstrating in front of the plant, and they kept refusing to close it. Meanwhile, in Nebraska, 8 meat packing plants have cases of COVID-19, and one has 237 cases, and that was tied to JBS beef plant. And on Lawrence O'Donnell, they were talking about Congress adapting to the 21st century. What they need to do, and some of the votes today in Congress, it was saying they're going to scramble to get back to DC, but part of them, like out in California, that's not such an easy thing to do. So they're hoping that they can have a quorum, and those close by in Maryland and other places like that can get back to DC and be on the floor for it. Shit. Also, the timeline of cases that resulted in death Uh, the first was a 47-year-old woman, uh, February 6th, before the Seattle, Washington, and California by that case. And it was also another woman that passed away in California, and that was 20 in one case on February 6th. That was 20 days before it hit uh, Seattle, Washington. And the other case of death in California was February 17th. The only reason we didn't know this, it was confused to be the flu, but they found out it was coronavirus that killed these two women. Um, and the bad news is out of China and South Korea that those who have recovered are testing positive. So, so further research into antibodies testing, because now they're finding those that have recovered uh, are reinfect or out there infecting people when they thought it was over, and that just shows we don't know everything about it, despite what Donnie wants to claim. Damn his butt. And then he went out there after Dr. Redfield confirmed what he said to the Washington Post. Donnie goes out there and reverses everything they say, and it's going to be embers. It's going to be embers by then. And by flu season, flu might be with it, but who knows? And if it is, there'll only be embers of the coronavirus left. Yeah, yeah, Dr. Donnie, you can predict things that the health officials can't. Give me a fucking break, you damn dumbass. Let me look through this stuff. I didn't have a. I've got some more polling. I didn't get to the bottom of this. Reopen economy only when health officials say it's safe. This might be out of the state of Florida. Uh, Only when it's safe? Yes, 76%. No was 17%. So, Donnie, you don't have the people with you. What you have is about 1% of the population that is too stupid to realize that they're probably going to be sick. He claimed the other day he saw social distancing. He didn't see some of the shots that I saw where they were all jammed together on a sidewalk, packed to whatever the building was behind them. That is not social distancing. And the pictures out of Ohio at the State House, where you see them crammed up against the windows, breathing all over each other. Now, how is that social distancing, you dumbass? Ah, shit. I'll look at the remarks. That's the reason I'm not looking down my nose at you. It's just what I have to do to read. Hello, Lou. Hello, Sherry. Hello, Joe. And Carol's out there, and maybe even Homer's Reluctant Odyssey. We don't have a big crowd today, but things are going better. We have, for this Blue Dot family, we now have 143 subscribers. It's growing slowly. But here lately, I have seen nobody dropped out. I get a lot of good, excuse me. I get a lot of compliments on my comments by all kind of blue dots that see this afterwards. it's not required to be here live, and they usually pick up quite a few comments, and they've all been really good, and that just encourages me to keep going. In fact, today I'm not posting anything else about this is a bad time for everybody. You already know more than likely how you can contact me either through the P.O. box or through my PayPal. I realize right now it's hard for a lot of people to do this, but still, I want you to go down and like and share. Presently, don't see anybody in the blue room uh, that I don't, I feel sure are already subscribers. But I always know that there are people out there watching this that can't comment, and I'm sorry that that's happening to you because I have no idea of why that is, and I wish I did. Maybe eventually we'll figure out why. Uh, it has to be in somebody's settings or some of these people's settings because I'm not going to stop anybody. I'm not out here to make money, and most of you, you know that. Uh, it's just every now and then I see the future coming. We're moving into a tough time. Uh, the hardest to defeat is an incumbent president. And in this case, we have an incumbent fake president. But how many people are going to realize that when it comes down to, I know for sure that that snake in the White House does not have enough voters, but we also have to count. He came out last week and admitted that unless they can stop mail in votes, unless they can suppress and delete votes, that they don't have a chance of winning. Even Donnie said that in public at his pep rally. All right, I'll let you go for now. Tomorrow, I'm looking forward to a big Facebook show again. Again, I'll do that around 6 p.m. I want to hear what John has to say before I come out and get on. Uh, that is helpful so that we're always on the same page, though. So there's going to be a lot of times I don't see him first on my Facebook shows. But like I said, we're basically all on the same page. We have got to vote the virus out of the White House, or he's going to, between him and the GOP, they're going to kill as many voters as they can. I don't know what the thought is that, you should give your life to make sure the economy gets going and then liberate states. That was all about guns. You get enough gun toters in the wrong places, somebody's going to get killed. And the blood of that will be on his hands, as well as those who get sick and die. And then their families start to realize maybe it wasn't a good idea backing this idiot. All right, that's about as optimistic as I can get today. We had the numbers bump up again by two. So, well, glad you made it, Sherry. Uh, and thank you again for those masks. We, when we come in, we're now sticking them in the dryer for a cycle that re-sanitizes them in between washing. So I am being as safe as I can. We hadn't even made a trip out today. Uh, I'll probably do it in the evening. That way I don't have to worry about it's only employees and me usually when I go to Hy-Vee. So that's the way I like to do it. I still protect myself. I still keep 6 feet back. They have plastic panels, see-through panels to protect uh, the individuals, not only people like me, but it protects me from them. You have to reach around the panel to get get your receipt or whatever, and they clean the counter where you check out, or the the what do you call it? Where they have got the belt. They clean that in between every customer too. Only in the prescription area do they wear masks and gloves, but they also have those plastic barriers up to protect people. Yeah, yeah, they've never been so clean. And I'm just hoping here, our stupid governor is talking about opening up May 4th. Uh, that I think with Walmart, Hy-Vee, and some of these other chain stores that are here in town, they're still going to do what they were doing while the idiot Republican governor couldn't make up his mind to do a stay at home order. So I'm looking forward to, if he ends it, that's not going to mean everybody's going to flood out and start going to restaurants and everything else, because they're not going to do it if they got any brains and don't listen to the stable genius in the White House. Oh, shit. Well, I'll let you go at this time. Thank you for coming and giving me your time. You keep me informed. I keep you informed. And that's the way it works. We're going to sit down tonight to a nice roast beef dinner. That's what we had to go out on our second trip for last night. And Grace ended up with the last beef roast in Walmart. It was down to the last one. All right, have a good one. I'll be posting some more music later on and enjoying my dinner at some point, which is probably going to be soon. I had to kind of cock my set more to show Elvis and the little kittens in the photo back there. But that was because my coffee pot ended up having 2 cups of coffee, but it was this afternoon. Rather than try to move that out of the way, just kind of shifted over to one side to do this one. And beat the crap out of Donnie. He needs it every day. We have to stay on him. Uh, Pressure works, people. And that's the main thing. We stay on our job and stay doing what we're doing, staying at home as much as we can. Uh, we will keep ourselves safe and protect others, because there are going to be idiots out here that don't care if they infect you. They don't think they can be infected. Let's not let them win this and reinfect the population. Bad enough between Iowa, no stay at home, and Nebraska with the idiot Ricketts up there. They're opening a mall tomorrow, I think. If not tomorrow, it'll be Monday. And then, virus can go back and forth between the 2 states. All right, I'll let you go. Peace, resist, persist, and insist. Keep up the pressure. Let them know that we're still going to do the right thing, regardless of the idiot governors that want to reinfect this country in lieu of your life to bring back the economy. All right, we all, by the way, we all want to go back to living, but we all want to do it in a safe way. That's including Republicans, Democrats, and adults, which there's no adult at the helm in the White House. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow on my Friday show. Uh, Later, y'all. Bye bye. Share this shit.